Everything you said we already knew, more or less.
Well, here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
All right, hey everybody, and welcome to Zenfolio Live. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Support. Thank you for joining us here on the live stream, and I know what you guys are thinking. How many of those Zenfolio t-shirts does he actually have? Just one. But thanks for joining us here today. So what we're going to be talking about today is I'm going to show you how to figure out how large you can print your image files. So what we're going to do is show you how to do the calculations. I've actually created a calculator that'll do this for you. I'm going to show you how it works, how to find that information, and then what we're going to do is jump into Zenfolio, and we are going to go and create a price list and add some products based on that maximum print size. Now, this is your first time watching the live stream, so make sure you say hi to us in the chat. Let us know where you're from. And if of course, we're always glad to have our repeat visitors, so make sure you guys say hi to us. We appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. But let's go ahead and jump right into Zenfolio here. So we're going to jump into Zenfolio. Let me just jump over here. All right, so here we are in Zenfolio. And obviously, the first thing that you need to know when you want to calculate how large you can print your images is you need to know your image dimensions. So most of the time you're going to want to know either the image dimensions that are coming out of your camera, or you're going to want to know the image dimensions of an image maybe that you cropped. Maybe you cropped an image and you're just wondering, how large can I print this image file? So if you've uploaded that image to Zenfolio, you can pull that image dimension information from Zenfolio. So what we're going to do is click right here on photos, and we'll just jump into one of these galleries here, and we'll pick an image here. Let's just go with, let's see, let's find a landscape image. There we go. We're going to grab this right here, and we're just going to pick a image over here, and we're going to check out its dimensions. Now, if your photos page looks a little bit different than mine, I think the image details option is up here somewhere where it says details. But what we're going to do is just click on an image. Let's pick this one. And I am going to hit the info button right here. And this is going to give me a lot of different information. But what I'm after today is after the image dimensions right here. So this tells me how large this photo is, so I can see about how large I can print it. So obviously this photo is quite a bit, quite small. I cropped it small so that I could upload it faster. I use it a lot for demos when I'm demoing things for different people. And so it's a pretty small photo, but let's go ahead and just see how large we can print this. So that's the first part, is what you need, is you need to know your image dimensions. Now, the other part of that is that you need to know the PPI requirements of the lab that you're going to be sending this to. Now, PPI stands for pixels per inch. It's a little different than DPI. So DPI has to do with printing. It's dots per inch. From a printer, it's how much dots the ink prints out on the paper. There's a link in the description below this video that goes into a much better explanation of what the difference is between PPI and DPI. But what we're after is the PPI requirements of the lab. Now, this information is actually in your Zenfolio account. So what you want to do to get that information is go to Selling right here, and then scroll down, and you're going to see Products from Integrated Vendors right here. Now, this is where you can get the PPI requirements for each of our different labs. So if you click on this, you can choose a lab. Let's just go with MPix for now. You're going to choose a lab. Now, along with the PPI and resolution requirements, this is a great page to find more information out about the labs. You can see what all products they offer. You can find out shipping information. So if you guys have not checked out this section of your account yet, it's definitely a place that you're going to want to go in and make sure that you check out. That way you have all of the information that you need of your labs, of processing times and different things like that. But for now, what we're after is the PPI requirement for MPix. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down and look for that information. So we're just going to scroll down, and what we're looking for is minimum and recommended image resolution right here. And so now you can see right here it says MPix uses photo imaging equipment with the maximum required image resolution of 100 pixels per inch. For the best results, however, make sure that your images are large enough to print at 250 PPI or higher. So we have our image dimensions, and now we also know that MPix, for standard quality prints, they require 100 pixels per inch, and for better quality, for the best quality, they're going to require 250, or they even recommend higher. So now what you want to do is you want to take the image dimensions and you want to divide it by those PPI requirements, and that'll tell you what size you can print your file. So it's going to tell you the largest size print file that you can make, the largest print that you can make out of that particular image. So again, MPix is 100 or 250, and the image that we were looking at was 1440 by 960. So now let me jump into this calculator that I created, and I've already plugged that number in right here. And guys, you can download this calculator in the link in the description of this video below. So there's a link down there somewhere. It might say Zenfolio Live Downloads. It says something like that. Click on that link, open it up in a new tab. There's a lot of different downloads that are in there from past live streams, and this calculator is going to be in there. So if you need to calculate, how large you can print, you can download this calculator. So I've got 1440 by 960 plugged in here, and now I actually set up this calculator to have all of the information from all of the different labs that integrate with Zenfolio. So you don't even have to go look for the lab's PPI requirements. They're already in here, and it'll also let you know where these labs ship to. So if you're just getting started on Zenfolio, take a look at this. It'll let you know what labs you should use and how large you can print with that lab. So we plugged in 1440 by 960, and now we can find MPix, which is right here, and it'll let us know at a standard printing size, the lowest quality that they'll print, we could do a 9 by 14 with that image. If we wanted it at the best quality, it would be a 3 by 5. Now that's a small image. Let's plug in some different numbers here. So normally I'm usually looking at images that are about 6,000 by 4,000 on my crop sensor camera. So let's just throw that in here really quick. So I'm going to throw in 6,000 by 4,000 because that's what size they are right out of camera. And now this is going to update and let me know the largest size I can print based on those image dimensions. So now I can see that with this, I can print a 16 by 24, or, at lower quality, I could do a 60 by 40, and the same thing with the other labs. So guys, it's really important for you to know how large of a print your image file is capable of producing. That way, when you go in and you start creating your price list, you know what size of products you can offer to your clients. Now, again, if you miss that, you're going to click in here, and to get your image dimensions in from Zenfolio, you just click on a gallery, choose an image, and click the info link right here, and those image dimensions will be right here. Or you can pull them up in Lightroom, Photoshop, or even just on your computer. Just do a quick right click on it and select get info, and it will give you the dimensions of the photo. Plug it into the calculator. It'll let you know what size you can print. All right, so now with that information, what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to build a price list based on that information. So that means we know where we need to cap it off. What we're going to do is just go right here again, and let's say that we're building a price list based on these image dimensions here, because I know that my images are going to be this size. So we're jumping back in Zenfolio, and we're going to go to selling, go to price list, and then there's two options up here. I'm just going to go with the add a blank price list option right here, and we'll start adding some price lists. Let's say that we're building this for maybe some landscape photos that I took. Maybe I'll only want to offer canvases and gallery wraps and things like that. Let's just call this landscapes, and we'll just go here and we'll click add products. Now, the first time you guys do that, when you're building a price list, it's really important that you make sure to pay attention to what vendor you are using. So back on that calculator, we were looking and we saw the different vendors we can use. What you want to do is click up here where it says all vendors. Make sure you change that out. So we're going to click there. And since I was looking at the MPIX numbers, we'll just go ahead and go with MPIX. This way, no matter what products I choose, they're all going to come from MPIX. I know the PPI requirements, and if my clients order, they're not going to be getting shipped separately because everything that I'm offering on this price list is coming from one single vendor. So a really good tip for building your price list, make sure you build them from one vendor. Let's go ahead and let's add some gallery wraps. So we're going to click on home decor, and let's go in here, and there are some canvas prints. And if you guys remember, I could do up to a 16 by 24. So that is where I'm going to stop. So I'll do a 16 by 24. Maybe let's do a 11 by 14. And we'll just leave it at those two right there. So maybe I just want to offer those two options in this particular gallery. So I'm going to check those options, add selected products, and then we'll make sure that we give it a markup. I'll just go in here and do a $0 markup. So this is a $0 fixed markup, because what I like to do is I like to use the percentage over base price. So I'm just going to put, let's start off with, let's say 800%. We'll round it up to the nearest dollar and click apply. And that will put the price on these images. Now, you can go back and fine tune these, and these are not suggested prices at all. I'm definitely just throwing out some random numbers in here just to get some information. Now, the other thing I want to do for this price list is I want to make sure that I go to the ordering options and either turn color correction on or off, which for this one, I'm going to turn it off. I'm also going to turn color conversion off. If you're not familiar with color conversion, what that is it lets your clients do a black and white or sepia tone conversion to the image. It doesn't cost them anything. It doesn't cost you anything. For me, I personally like to remain in creative control of my photos. So I like to turn that option off. Now, for cropping, we can go ahead and leave that set to the client to crop. We'll get the chance to review it before the order is actually printed. I'm going to hit apply. And then I just want to make sure that my quick shot products are set up the way that I want. So I'm going to move these over and push that 16 by 24 canvas up to the top, and then click save. So now we've created a brand new price list. It's right in here. It's called landscapes. We're going to jump back over here to photos. Let me say hi to you guys in chat, and then when we come back, what we'll do is we'll apply this price list to a gallery so you guys can see how to do that. While I'm going through this, if you guys have any questions related to Zenfolio, even if it's not on topic with what I was talking about, definitely make sure to get those in the chat so I can get those answered for you guys. But let me hop over here in chat really quick. All right, so let's see. We got Cheryl hanging out with us today, modding, so make sure you guys say hi to Cheryl. Home phone says, not even close. Yeah. One more day, guys. Come on, one more day, and it's Friday. I'm actually hitting the road. So right after I hop off of the live stream today, I'm actually hitting the road. We're going back up to PA to see my wife's family again, so I'm going to be on the road for probably 6 or 8 hours after this. So I'm definitely look forward to Friday when hopefully I'll get to chill out and not have to do a bunch of driving on Friday as well. But yeah, definitely, we're almost there. Almost there. Let's see. We got George Horseman hanging out with us again. Hey, George, thanks for coming back. Always glad to have you here hanging out. Home phone says, yep, you are in Carolina, and I am on the best coast. That's up for debate, home phone. I've been to both. North Carolina's got some nice beaches. California's got some too, but I've been to some nice beaches out here in North Carolina. Let's see. Traveler Guy VT says the calculator download link did not work. I'll double check on that after the live stream. If you will just shoot us an email, you can just go to www.zenfolio.com/contact. Shoot us an email. I'll make sure that I get that calendar out to you if that download link doesn't work for you. And I'll go check it after this as well, just to make sure that it's working correctly. Okay, Cap Mem Photo says, Cap Mem Photo, that's a pretty interesting name. Says, hi, Robert, thanks for all your help. Lisa, oh, hey, Lisa, thanks for coming and hanging out with us today. Yeah, great to have you here, Lisa. George says, George from New Jersey, how to add a price list on the website. So I'm definitely going to get to that here in a second, George. If you guys have more price list questions, since we're already on the topic, definitely throw those in the chat. I would love to go through price lists, answer any questions you have about, you know, creating more price lists, different options, how to apply them to different galleries, if you can have one or multiple, any kinds of questions like that, then throw those in the chat there as well. All right, let me see. Tessa says hi. Hey, Tessa, glad to have you here hanging out with us. Cheryl says, I'm sure Robert will walk you through it. Absolutely. And then HomePhoto says that the download link is a JPEG image. Yes, it is. Because now that I remember, I did not set it to download the full resolution image and the raw file. So I will fix that after the live stream. Now that you said it's a JPEG image, it definitely clicks in my head. You guys, wait till after the live stream's over. Give me about 5 minutes at the end of the live stream. I'll jump in there and fix that for you guys so that it downloads the raw file attached with it as well. All right. Sorry about that. All right, guys. Let's go back and let's set this price list up on a gallery. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. George, this might answer your question. You just saw me create a price list from scratch, adding in the options that I wanted. The next part would be obviously making this price list available on a gallery to where clients can purchase photos. So what we're going to do is back in Zenfolio here, what we're going to do is find the gallery that we want to apply this to. You can do this a couple of different ways. You can go right to the gallery here and say, you know what, let's just apply it to this landscape gallery right here. So you're going to click on it, go over here to pricing, and you see where it says pricing disabled. We're going to click here, and then let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see this. And then what we're going to do is say allow ordering from my price list. And there's that landscape one right there. All right, so we can do it that way. Or what we could do is we could say, let's keep it as same as containing group. And then let's go back up to the group, which is right here. That's the group. And let's apply this price list to the group. So if I click on that, I go to pricing, allow ordering from my price list, click on landscape and save. Now, all of those galleries should have that price list assigned as long as their pricing settings is set to be same as containing group. So if I click on this, then we look over here. This one we changed earlier. Let's see. But if we click on this one, all of these have been changed. So all of these galleries have different settings. You just have to click over here and change them like this. So you click here, same as containing group, and now it will put that landscape price list on it. So you can apply it to a group or a gallery. That way it'll feed down as long as the gallery settings say same as containing group. Those of you guys whose photo page looks a little different than mine and has a blue line up here, what you're going to want to do is click on a gallery under your organizer, and then the price list button will actually be right up here somewhere to where you can click on that and do that. In fact, let me just get let me log into my other account really quick and I'll just show you guys. So let me get to my other account, because I know there's got to be some of you guys out there who are using the new photos page. It definitely does look different, and there are some options that are in different places. So let me just grab this really quick and I'll show you guys how that works. Now this account is even more of a mess than my other account. Please completely ignore it. But what you're going to do to assign a price list here is just click on the gallery right here, and then click on price list, and this is where you can choose to apply that price list. All right, let me just drag this down out of the way, put it back here. We'll hop back to my dashboard. Let me check on you guys in chat, see if you have any more questions. If you guys have questions, definitely make sure to get those in there so I can answer them for you. And then if not, what I'm going to do is just go and grab an email question. If you're watching the recorded version of this, we'd love to have you guys join us on a live stream, but I understand that we are all super busy, especially being a photographer. It seems like it gets crazier and crazier every day. That's why we push the recorded version out. There's a link in the description of the video below where you guys can submit email questions for us to answer the following week. So what you want to do is click that link, send a question in, and I will answer it next week since you weren't here on the live stream this week. Also, guys, before I forget, August 9th is our 100th live stream. So on August 9th, that will be our 100th live stream. We want to do something super special for you guys. Even if you've taken the survey already, there's a link in the description below. Click on there, take that survey, let us know what you'd like to see on that August 9th 100th live stream so we can make sure to make it special for you guys. All right, let me jump over here and grab an email question really quick. All right, and I think Cheryl fixed the download for me. So guys, if you will go click that download button again for the calculator. Somebody super awesome fixed it for me. It's good to have friends that have your back. Somebody fixed it for me while we were talking. So that calculator download link will work for you now. So go click that link again. Traveler VT guy, download that calculator. There's also some other resources there as well. If you haven't downloaded those yet, go ahead and grab those up while you're there as well. All right, let me jump over here and grab a question. Let's see, I uploaded a logo, but when I look at my site on my phone, it just says my name where the logo should be. Is that normal? Well, it is if you haven't uploaded the right logo. And guys, if you're having logo issues or having logo questions, that link in the description for the Zenfolio Live downloads actually has a really awesome custom logo guide for Zenfolio. Make sure you download that because there is a PDF there which is going to tell you all the different places where you need to go and upload logos, but it's also going to include Photoshop templates for each different logo that you can upload. It's a great resource to have. Make sure you check that out. But back to the question, they said they uploaded a logo, but they're not seeing it when they go to their site on their mobile phone. That's because there are quite a few different places to upload logos in Zenfolio. Let me show you where those are at. So if we hover over website right here, and what I'm going to do is on customize website, I'm going to right click on this and open it in a new tab. I like working in multiple tabs. I'm not a big fan of having to go back and wait on pages to load. And I find working in multiple tabs has really sped up my workflow, especially if you're working in Zenfolio, guys, and you need to reference something on the back end while you're customizing. Try working in multiple tabs. It's going to speed up your workflow quite a bit. So now I'm just going to jump over to this other tab that's in Customize View. And if you uploaded a logo, you probably went one of 3 or 4 places. So let's just go here. Let me get myself out of the way. And what we're going to do is, if you uploaded a logo, you either went to options, and if you have your homepage logo right here set to show, you might have uploaded that logo in the homepage logo tab. The homepage logo is a special logo. It only shows on the browser. Why can't I say that? I'm wanting to say browser or Bowser. I've been playing too much Mario. It only shows up on the browser version of your website when you're actually viewing, not on a mobile device. This is the homepage logo. It only shows up on your homepage, and that's it. The other option is if you uploaded it into your header, which is your header menu, that's going to show up on the rest of your website except for your mobile site. So the place where you might have uploaded your header logo is under Site Header, Logo, and in here. And this one, just like the homepage logo, is also not going to show on your website on your mobile phone. There's one more place you need to go. Click over here in Site Settings and go down to Logos and Icons right here. Click on that, scroll down and find the Mobile Logo section. Right here is the Mobile Logo section, and this is where you want to upload your mobile logo. Now, when you find yourself here uploading your mobile logo, go ahead and take a look at the other logos that you can upload as well. There are lots of other logos that you can upload in here. There is the Quick Shop logo, the web browser logo, which is called the favicon, the mobile logo, and then also if you're selling pre-order, if you're an advanced account and you have the pre-order option, you can upload a pre-order logo as well. So again, that's under Customize View, and then go to, let me get myself back out of the way here, go to Site Settings, and then find the Logos and Icon tabs, and that is where you can download, or I'm sorry, upload that mobile logo. All right, let me jump back over here on chat, check on you guys really quick. All right, let's see here. Cheryl says, yep, the link was not correct, but she fixed it. HomePhone says they let you have multiple accounts. I play around with a lot of different things, and so I'm always got different crazy things going on and testing out different things. So those are all test accounts that I go in and make look really ugly and just play around and show people how to use Zenfolio. But yeah, definitely. Let's see. HomePhone says, yay, it's now a zip with the image and an Excel file. Yeah, absolutely. It's an Excel file. I'm a big fan of Google Sheets, you guys. So you can upload that Excel file into Google Sheets, keep it in your browser so it's handy. So if you're not on your home computer, you can still access it. I love Google Sheets. I use it all the time. It's great for making calculators and different things like that because my memory is not what it used to be. And so once I figure out how to calculate something, I make a calculator. That way I don't have to rely on trying to remember that formula. All right, George says, thanks, Robert. Cheryl said, yes, I fixed it. Go, Cheryl, go. All right, and then yep, there's a link right there. So Cheryl just threw that link out in the chat for you guys. Make sure you check that out. It'll tell you all the different places that you can upload a logo, show you some more information and different things like that. All right, let me go back here. Let me just get back to my Zenfolio dashboard really quick and grab another email question. Guys, if you have any questions as we're going through here, make sure you get those added. If you guys do me one favor today though, please, actually do me two favors. Please make sure you take the 100th live stream survey and give this video a thumbs up. That's all I ask. Those two things would be super awesome if you guys could do that for me today. All right, let's go and grab another email question really quick. So my next question here says, I am having trouble importing my contacts list from my email. Can you help walk me through these steps so I can make sure that I'm doing this right? All right, so what you want to do is, let's see. One of the things that so when you're importing a contacts list into Zenfolio, if you export it from MailChimp or your contacts or anything like that, one of the things that's very important when you're importing it is to make sure that it's in the correct format. Now let me show you how to get that format so that when you upload it into Zenfolio, you won't have any issues with it. So what you're going to do is go to Communications right here, go to Email Communications, or just click on Contact List, and then do a quick export. So you don't have to export your entire contacts list. Just grab a couple of emails like this and do a quick export like this. Now let me show you why you want to do that export, because that export is going to get you the format that you need to have when you import your contacts into Zenfolio. So I'm going to jump back over to this image calculator, which is in Google Sheets. Then I'm just going to go up to File, we'll import, and I will import that contacts list that I just downloaded, and I'll just throw it into a new tab. So we're going to upload this. I'm going to say insert a new sheet, separate it by commas, and it's going to insert a new sheet and not mess up my calculator. All right, so here we are. This is that contact list that I exported. This is the format that your information needs to be in when you upload it into Zenfolio. So what you'll want to do is get this format, make sure that the headers are the same, and then either put your information in here, or if your existing contacts list is in pretty close to this format, just change it around till it matches. It has to be just like this with these columns right here to import. So let me just click up here, and then I'm going to do this just to get everything lined up. And then what we can do here is, just so you see this, let me just go here and I'll just add some fake information in here. So I'm going to say George, and George his email is going to be george@jersey.com, and his phone number is going to be 987 blah blah blah. And then let's do we'll do home phone. Their email is going to be 7@yahoo.com, and primary number blah 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 blah. All right, now that I've got it in the proper format, I can take this information and upload it into Zenfolio. So I'm going to go File, Download As, comma separated value sheet, and we'll just call this Contacts 3. We're going to save that. Jump over to Zenfolio. We're going to click the import button, and I'm going to import my CSV file right here. Contacts 3, import it. And then the nice thing is I can actually tag these contacts. So if you know that these particular contacts are associated with a specific gallery that you've already got uploaded to Zenfolio, you can actually assign them or tag them to that right here. So you can click this, and then you can choose the gallery. Or if you're not so sure, but maybe you know that they're interested in a specific type of photography, you could tag them to your portfolio gallery that's related to that. So let's say these aren't clients yet, but they're people that I know might be interested in having a portrait session done. I could tag them to my portrait gallery here. So at least that way I kind of have some idea of what they're interested in. And then we're just going to go and import these. 2 contacts were successfully imported. I'm going to hit close, and then we'll refresh this. And now if I go here, let me just sort this so you guys can see this. I go here and I sort by this particular gallery. I'm going to see those contacts. There's George and there's home phone. So the key is making sure that the CSV file that you're importing is in that proper format, and you can get that just by exporting a few contacts from your Zenfolio contacts list. So that's the key, guys. Make sure you do that first and get it in the proper format. All right, let me jump back to my dashboard here really quick. And let me grab another email question. All right, let's see. My visitor tracking area doesn't seem very accurate. I know I've had a few visitors visiting the galleries, and they've even placed some orders in that same gallery, but it's still showing 0 visitors. All right, guys, this is a pretty common question I've seen. So let me just clarify what's going on here. The tracking that's built into Zenfolio is it's basic tracking, but it only tracks a visit if somebody actually clicks on a photo. So to clarify that, if I go to any of my galleries and I just open them up in preview, so let's go to this one and let's get a preview of this opened. All right, so we've got a preview of this opened. And again, like I said, these accounts are very ugly because I'm changing things. If I just visit this page and I don't actually click on an image, Zenfolio is not going to count it as a visit. And I can even purchase things from this gallery by clicking the buy button, or if the select photos button is up here, I could even make a purchase from this gallery and a visit would not have been tracked. So that's how that's happening. If visitor tracking is something that's very important to you, I would suggest going with Google Analytics. You can put those in your account if you go to settings, and I think it's under website, visitor tracking right here. There are Google Analytics. You can just click right here and this will tell you all about how to set it up and put it in your account and get it all set up. And that is going to be a much better and accurate tracking tool to add that Google Analytics in there in your account. That's what I would suggest doing. Like I said, the visitor tracking that's built into Zenfolio, it does some basic tracking, but again, it only tracks if they click on a photo and actually look at that photo, not just the thumbnails page. All right, let me go back here to dashboard really quick and check on you guys here in chat. You guys are quiet today. I know it's almost Friday or about there, guys. Hold out. The weekend is coming. Or if you're a sports photographer and you've got a lot of sports shootings signed up or set up for the weekend, hold out. It's going to be good. Monday will come around and you'll get to relax a little bit. Unless you're me, of course, and then I shoot on the weekend and then come back to Monday. So, but we're almost to the weekend, guys. You can do it. Let me grab another email question really quick here. So let me just switch over to this and I'll grab another email question. Let's see. I want visitors to be, or I want users to be able to download images from events for free, but I don't really want them to have the original size either. Is there a way around this? So there's a couple of different ways to do this. I would suggest doing this with a digital product and setting it up to be a free download. It's going to be a lot easier that way. And plus, with a digital product, you can apply a license to the download. So let me show you guys how to set this up and do that. So what we're going to do first is go create the digital product. So we're going to go to selling and we'll go to digital products right here. And I've got a bunch of digital products in here already created. Let's go ahead and create a new one together from scratch. So what we're going to do is click add products. And I'm just going to call this free. We'll call it social. Oh, wow. Social. I'm terrible today, you guys. Social media download. All right. We'll call it free social media download. We're going to go to photos. We're going to put a license on this and we're going to put unlimited online use, no printing. You could do that. Or you could do royalty free personal use, whichever one you want. Or if you have a custom license, you can upload that. Now what we're going to do is come down here to image dimensions and we're going to click right in here. And there are a couple of options that you have. You could just go with the low resolution 1 megapixel image size right there, and then when clients select this, that image would be resized down to a 1 megapixel image, and that's the version that they would get to download. Or if you want, there's another option that you can use, which is largest dimension right here. So if you want everybody to be able to download the photos for free at a very specific size, you can use this largest dimension option. And you can say, okay, I only want this photo to be 500 pixels at the longest side. Or you could do it, 1,000 pixels at the longest side. And then when your clients select this product to download, it's going to resize the images to be 1,000 pixels on the longest side. So if it's a portrait oriented image, it'll be 1,000 pixels tall. If it's a landscape oriented image, it'll be 1,000 pixels wide. Next, we'll just leave it in the downloads category. And then depending on how you want them to download, if you want them to do this on a 1-by-1 basis, you can leave both of these numbers set to 1. There are other ways that you can configure it. If you want to let them download multiple files, you can change this. There is a video on our YouTube channel. If you haven't watched it, definitely check it out. It goes over the whole process of setting up digital products, how to make different configurations so that your clients can download their photos. Definitely check that video out if you haven't seen it yet. But what we're going to do is just save this as it is right here. And so now we've basically created a free social media download. And then we would just go to selling, go to a price list and apply it to whatever price list that you want. Maybe we want it on this landscape price list for whatever reason. You can apply that or add that product. So once my internet wants to play ball here, we'll add that there. All right, add products, click up here. Choose your studio name, go to downloads, and here is social media download right here. We're going to click that option, hit add selected products down here. And then since we want them to do this for free, what we're going to do is set this to 0. And you can see right there, there's not a service fee associated with it. Make sure that it is added to your quick shop if you want it to be there, and then save it. And now, let's see, I don't know if I have, does this one have that on there? Let's just take a look really quick and see. And now once that's saved, right here is that social media use free downloading option. Now, the reason that I recommend going with downloadable products is because in order for them to download this, they have to agree to the license that's applied to it. They have to, during the checkout process, they have to say, yes, I agree to the license of it's only for online use and nothing else. If you turn on downloading through gallery access, they're going to get the full resolution file that you uploaded, and there's no way to apply a license. So if I go here and I go to gallery access and I say, let's allow downloading, that's going to let them download that full resolution file, and it's also going to not have a license on it as well. So I definitely don't recommend that. And if you want to sell your downloads, you definitely want to make sure that this option is turned off. This has nothing to do with digital products. It's a completely separate option. All right, so we've got that set up, and click save. And that is how I would recommend giving your clients the free download options. So hopefully that answered your question on how to do that. Let me jump back to the dashboard really quick. Hey guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you click subscribe. We do live streams every week, and then we also put out video tutorials at least every other week to help you guys make the most out of your Zenfolio account. Make sure that you click subscribe so that you get notifications on when we do the live streams, when we publish new tutorials, or if you like to take them on the go, do a quick search in iTunes, search for Zenfolio video tutorials. You can actually subscribe in iTunes, and not only will you get notifications of the live stream, after the live stream's over, you're going to get an instant download. Well, not instant, it takes a little bit for it to process. But once the processing is done, you'll get an instant notification of the recording of that live stream. So if you want to go back and reference different things that we talked about, you'll have that right on your phone. So make sure you do a search in iTunes, the iTunes podcast directory for that. All right. If you have any questions, we've probably got about 10 more minutes left. Make sure you guys get your questions in the chat so I can get those answered for you guys live. If you're watching the recorded version of this, make sure you click that link in the description below and submit a question for next week so I can get those answered for you as well. Also, hey, if you guys liked the new song intro that I had, there is a link and information in the description below with the video all about the artist that created that. Super awesome music, so I'm switching it up a little bit. Hopefully you guys like that new intro song. And yeah, just definitely make sure you check that information out as well. All right, let's grab another question really quick. So I'm going to grab another email question. Let's see here. I'm using one of the full screen layouts on my homepage, and I can't seem to get it to crop well no matter what I do. All right, so there's a video all about setting up your homepage with a full screen slideshow. This is a pretty common question as well, especially when you're just getting started out. What you want to think about when you're using a full screen homepage slideshow is the images that you're using the best images are landscape orientated images. So I'm not talking about just used landscape photos. I mean horizontally orientated photos. And the reason is because if you take a look at your computer screen, it is in the horizontal orientation. And so a full screen slideshow is going to take the images that you're using, and what you're going to do, and what it's going to do is fix it to fit the width of the screen, and then the height is just going to kind of match with whatever the image size is. So for a portrait orientated image, it's going to make that image extremely large. It might even be pixelated. So let me just kind of show you what I'm talking about here. So if I go to photos, and here I've got, let's see, I've got this gallery right here. And as you can see, this has got some portrait orientated images in here. Now it does have some portrait orientated images that have been put together as a landscape image. So those are two portrait orientated images together as a landscape image. If you want to do that, there is a Photoshop action that you can download, and I'll show you where that's at here in a second. But we're going to use these photos on our full screen homepage slideshow. You'll see what it looks like and what it does to these portrait orientated images. So I'm just going to jump over here to customize view. I know I've got it in one of these screens. Here it is. And let me just go right here to background content. And you can see I'm using a slideshow. Let's jump up here and check this portrait photographer gallery so that we can use it. And then most of the time, the image, by default, the image placement is going to be middle center. All right, so let me check that, hit select, and then let's go ahead and update this so that we start using that gallery that has those mixed images on the homepage. And you can already see right here, this is a portrait orientated image. It's cropping half of her head off. If I go over to, let's find another one that's super obvious. That's another one. That's another one. This is another one here. You can see it's cropping these people's heads off. That's because the full screen slideshow takes the image to match the width of the screen, but does not take the height into consideration. So there's a couple of things that you can do about this. If you really want to use a mix of orientations in this slideshow, you can use what's called a photo strip, and it will force fit all of your images in here. So if I go to background content and we go to change this from a slideshow to a photo strip, now you're going to see it's going to start force fitting everything. So let me update this. And as you can see here, once this saves, all of the portrait orientated images are going to be force fit to fit the screen. Now the only difference is this one is not an automatic slider, it's a manual slider. So clients do have to, manually slide their mouse across the screen to view the images. So that's one solution if you want to use this mix of horizontal and vertical orientated images. Now the other option is just using all horizontal landscape orientated photos. So if I go back to background content, we switch this back to be a slideshow. And then I change this to maybe my landscape gallery, which I think has all horizontal images in there. You're going to see it's going to work much better. Now, one of the things you can do as well is you can leave this to middle center if you want, or if you want to change it to top center, you can. Now, when you're thinking about top center, what you want to think about is that this setting is going to take the top of the image and set it to the top of the screen. So bottom center will actually throw the image up past your header sometimes. So I'm just going to set it to top center. We'll hit update right here. We'll click on update, and then this is going to change. And now you should see those images fitting the homepage much better than they were before. And then as always, whenever you make any changes here on the back end and customize view, make sure that you publish those changes so that they go live. Any change that you make on the back end doesn't actually go live till you click that publish button. So what that means is that if you're going through a rebranding phase right now, or you're in a continuous rebranding phase like my website seems to always be in, you can come back on the back end of things, work on it here and there, leave, go do a shoot, go spend some time with a family, come back in a couple of days and keep working on it, Zenfolio is going to save all of those changes that you made on the back end. And as long as you didn't click publish, they won't go to your live website until you're ready and you click that publish button. So you can definitely just kind of work on it in the back end without having to publish it if you want. Now, if you publish your website out, click this publish button, and then you're looking at it and you decide, man, I hate that. I wish that I hadn't done that. I would really like to go back to my previous version. There is an option to do that. And let me just show you where that's at. So what I'm going to do is just jump back into customize view really quick. And there is a restore button here. So if you look in the top right corner up here next to publish, there's a restore button that you can click on, and it will restore it to the state, whatever it says right there. I can't read it, that's too small. Your website settings will be restored to their state as of 19th, 2018, before the latest changes were made. So basically it's going to restore back to the way it looked before you published those new changes. You just click restore, and it's going to restore it back to the way it was. Now, if you've done several changes, several publishes, you're probably not going to be able to get all the way back to a previous one. You're only going to be able to go back basically one publish time. So that's something you want to keep in mind. Make sure things are the way you want before you click that publish button, especially if you're doing it multiple times, because you can only go back once, one publish. All right, let me head back to my dashboard here really quick and check on you guys on chat. All right, so Home Phone says, I subscribed. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. It's a great resource to have. I know there's a lot of times when I like to listen to podcasts. I'm a big podcaster. And what I love about the podcast is that you can actually download them so that when I'm traveling the back roads out to whatever place I'm going to be shooting or visiting, and I don't have service, I can listen to my downloaded podcast and I don't have to worry about the service. So the videos on the podcast are really nice to listen to that way. Yeah, Home Phone, no more tomorrow. So our Zenfolio Live intro song for a while was Tomorrow by the band Set It Off. And then we kind of switched things up and started using different music to kind of have a variety there. All right, guys, we've probably got about 5 more minutes left. Make sure if you have any last minute questions, make sure you get those in the chat as soon as you can. That way I can get them answered live. Also, if you haven't clicked any of those links yet down below the video, make sure you at least click that 100th live stream link and take that survey for me. Don't forget to download the calculator so that as you're going along building your price list on Zenfolio, you can keep track of how large you can print your photos, especially if you're doing any kind of cropping. So if you're doing any cropping on your photos, keep in mind that does affect your image dimensions, and you'll need to make sure that you're calculating for that so that you don't try to offer a print size that your cropped image is not capable of producing. I'm going to grab one more email question. I'm going to see if I can answer one more email question. Guys, like I said, if you have any questions, make sure to get them in the chat before sooner rather than later, because we do have about 5 more minutes left. All right, let me grab an email question. Let's see. Why do videos take so much longer to render than still photos? It takes nearly triple the time for videos to render. Yeah, I completely understand. Absolutely, you're correct. It does definitely take longer for videos to render. What you have to think about is once you upload a video, then the clips that you've uploaded are actually going to be converted to use the H.264 codec, and then it's going to be processed into different resolutions. Now, during that process time, you're probably going to see a video processing thumbnail in your gallery that represents that, showing that that video is being processed. We generally generate HD TV quality, so that's 1920 by 1080, as well as 1280 by 720 resolutions, and then we will also produce standard definition resolutions as well that match the original aspect ratio of that. We don't create resolution sizes that are larger than the original video file. So if you're uploading a 1920 by 1080, we're not going to generate a 4K version or anything like that. It's going to be whatever the largest original file was. If you're uploading a 1280 by 720, there's not going to be a 1920 by 1080 version available. So there's a lot of different rendering and processing going on in the background, and that's why it takes longer. And then once that process is complete, we actually generate multiple thumbnails to represent the video clip. Usually the first thumbnail is going to be applied with a text overlay, and that overlay will have the link to the video on it. And then if you want to change the thumbnail, you can, but there's a lot of things that go on with that video processing. So we render and generate all of those different display versions, and then we also generate the different thumbnails and things like that. So there's a lot of things going on in the background, and that's why that processing time is a little bit longer, or in some cases quite a bit longer than the image processing time. All right, let me jump over here really quick, check on you guys in chat, make sure I didn't answer a question, or make sure I didn't miss a question here from you guys. All right, Kevin says, P-E-E-N, please answer, thanks. Hey, Kevin, would be happy to answer your question. I'm not sure what PEEN or P-E-E-N means. If you could clarify that, I'd be glad to answer that question. Just not sure what you're referring to on that. So just let me know a little bit more in the chat, but you'll have to be quick because we're just about out of time. But I'd be glad to answer that question for you. Let me just scroll back up to make sure I didn't miss a question here. I don't see one. All right, while I'm waiting on Kevin, let me see if I can squeeze in another email question really quick, guys. Let's jump over here. Let me grab my email questions. Let's see. Is it possible for me to batch rename a bunch of photos in a gallery? I need to shorten the file names so that my clients see the whole file name displayed below the photo. You guys can do this through bulk meta update. Let me see if I can do this in the amount of time that we have. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to photos, and let's go to, let's just go to this gallery right here. All right. Bulk meta update is going to let me get all of the file names, all of the titles, keywords, all of that information from this gallery in a CSV file. And if I need to do a batch update to all the file names, you can do this to the bulk meta update. So you click on the gallery, click bulk meta update right here. That's going to let you download the metadata. So let me download that. I'll show you guys what that looks like. We're just going to pop that into Google Sheets here. I'll import it really quick. Let me upload it, and I'll show you guys how you can do this. So here is that information right here. I'm going to insert a new sheet, separate it by commas, import the data, and you can see right here are the file names right here. Now these file names are pretty short, but let's say for whatever reason I need to batch rename these, or maybe I just need to shorten them down, something like that. What you could do is you could either batch rename them in Lightroom and then export a CSV file from that and then copy that information in here, or you could just write a formula to help you shorten these down. So let's say, for instance, maybe I just want to remove everything before the little split right here. I can go over here to this, write a quick formula. This equals split. I'm going to try to remember how to do this. I think it's split by this, and then I'm going to put a comma, grab that, and so that removed it. I don't remember the formula. The other one you could do though is you could just pull the, let's say we wanted to pull 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right here. I can't remember the formula that I wanted, so I'm going to show you how to do a right pull. So I'm just going to put this equals right. We're going to choose this, and we're going to say this equals the right 8. And all it did was pull the far right 8 characters from that. I can take this, drag it all the way down the list, and it's going to do that all the way down and remove all of the information ahead of it. And then with that highlighted, what I'm going to do is just right click, copy this, go right over here and put paste special, paste values only, and then I can delete this column right here. And now I've changed the file name over here. We're just going to re-download this really quick. So download as, we'll do download as a comma separated value sheet. I'm just going to call this file names, hit save, jump back into Zenfolio. Now, before I do this, I'm going to show you guys, if I click on this, you can see the file name right here, EC Photo 6539. But if I go to the gallery and I do that bulk meta update right here, let me upload that CSV file that I just created. It's going to change the file names for me. So we're going to update that. This is going to refresh. So now when I click on this photo, you can see now all that information is gone. So I just batch renamed all of these files using that bulk meta update option. One of the things that's really important, guys, if you mess with the bulk meta updater, it's a super awesome tool to use to do different things like this. Don't mess with the Zenfolio Photo ID. This is what is used to tie all of this information back to that particular photo. So that's what is tied. That's what's going to tie that information back. Make sure that the right images get the right name and update and all of that stuff. So that's how you guys do that. Just through the bulk meta updater. Unfortunately, we are out of time. I want to say thank you guys for everybody who came and hung out with me today. Thanks to George. Let's see. I want to make sure I say hi to everybody really quick. George, Home Phone, Cheryl, Joey, Lisa, Tessa, and let's see, Travel VT Guy, or VT Guy. Yep. Also, guys, don't forget, make sure you download those assets. They're going to be super helpful. I hope you guys all have a wonderful, safe weekend, and I will be back on Monday, and I'll see you guys next Thursday. So make sure you guys have a great weekend.
Aside from my soul, there goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. There goes a sight from my soul. I think a fallen angel just walked by. 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 There goes a sight from my soul.